Okay, so let's check out the last remaining cards for the upcoming mini set, starting off with Mage, 3 mana 3/4 Meddlesome Servant, Battlecry. If you've cast 5 or more spells this game, draw 2 cards. This one's weird because it almost looks like it's Arcane Intellect on a stick. Maybe it's slightly better because you would often rather play a minion than a spell to draw 2 cards. I'm assuming it's not that difficult for Mage to cast 5 or more spells, and you generally don't want to play Arcane Intellect on turn 3 anyways, at least nowadays. You used to back in the day, let me tell you what. So I guess this is fine. I don't really think that Mage is severely lacking in draw, but they need more, or they feel like they just want a minion on a stick with some draw. This is probably okay. I'm not like, it's not screaming out to me this is gonna be broken, but I will say this: in the right deck, this card will probably be very good. Also, because it's a battle cry, if they ever print an effect like Brand again, it might be good, you know. Void Scripture, 2 mana, discover a spell. If you have enough mana to play it, cast a copy of it at a random enemy in shadow. Wait, what? Isn't this kind of insane? Discover a spell. So you discover a mage spell every single time. As long as you're playing mage, you have enough mana to play it, cast a copy of it. I'm a big fan. I think this card's nuts. I think this card gets played in like the Rainbow Lady Sith Mage, and I think it's good. I can't imagine it not being good. This is just everything that Mage wants. The great thing about this too is that it gives you some tempo if you're discovering it. This reminds me a lot of that card from United and Stormwind that Priest had, the Death Run one. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's a good card. Tainted Remnant, 5 mana 7/4 Battlecry. If you played an elemental last turn, deal 7 damage, randomly split between all enemies. And this is also an elemental. Not a bad payoff for an elemental package in Mage. First glance, a 5 mana 7/4 isn't that great, but dealing 7 damage randomly split among all enemies is actually not that bad. I could see this. It seems more like, God, I really don't like the design of deal 7 damage randomly split between all enemies. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't know. It's fine. Like, it's good. Like, it's gonna be good. I think in Arena, this card's very, very powerful. But in Standard, like, I feel like Mage just has better win conditions than this. Maybe at some point it actually does find a use case. Because you got to remember, all of these cards are in Standard for the next year and like a half, kind of. So I'm sure at some point Elemental Mage will be playable. So this will be good if that's the case. All right, Paladin. Alarmed Security Bot. 4 mana 4/3 Death Rattle. Draw another minion, set its attack, health, and cost to 5. And it's a mech. Draw another minion, set its attack, health, and cost to 5. Interesting. You can actually do a lot with this card. Yeah, look, I like it. Like, it's definitely not bad. It's a draw. It's mana cheating. Sometimes the stat line is very irrelevant. You can make minions better or potentially worse, but setting a cost to 5 is a really big deal. And if you can do it consistently, you're probably okay with it. Just really depends on what you want to pull. I'm sure there'll probably be some wacky combo invented with this card. I'm not like, put this in Mech Paladin or put this in like any Paladin deck at the moment. I'd have to see it really being built for it, but I can get behind it. If you have one specific minion, right, or 2 specific minions you're looking for, this card actually could be pretty great. Keeper's Strength, 4 mana spell, Holy. Give a friendly minion +2/+2. Deal its damage to all other minions. Wow. When is the last time Paladin got a board clear? I feel like they really don't like Paladin having board clears, but this is good. This has to be good, right? The only reason I think this is like kind of okay is that it affects your minions too, but you probably put this into some kind of big Paladin, right? I think that's what you really want to go for. And if you need to kill your own death rattles, this also fits that little niche. I think this card's good. This card will be playable at some point. There's no way it's not. It's so nutty. It's tempo. It's a board clear. It's called Keeper Strength. If that matters, I can see it. I'm a fan of it. Muscle Otron, 3 mana 2/4 Forge. Battlecry, if Battlecry, give all your minions in your hand +1/+1 Forge +2/+2 instead. This is another minion that I think is actually like kind of okay. And it's a mech. So Paladin, you would go turn 1, maybe the frequency oscillator. No, I don't see. The problem with this card is, when do you play it? Because you want to play it as early as possible, but generally with like Mech Paladin, you want to go as fast as possible. So maybe you just don't care about the Forge and you just care about the +1/+1, because the Alliance Bannerman was played at a 3 mana stat line, draw a card and give all your minions +1/+1. It had less stats. It also wasn't a mech. I feel like potentially this card could see play. It's really like, God, the Paladin ones are really iffy because they're all good cards in a vacuum. It's more like, do you need them? I think if you can build around Keeper Strength, though, I think there will actually be a real deck. I feel like this is the winner so far from the cards I've seen today. I feel like they're actually, I don't know, the Mage one's really, really good. Okay, Priest. Oh God, Priest got a legendary. What is it? 3 mana, 1/5, Soul Burner Varia. Come on, I'm trying my best. After a friendly undead dies, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero and get a random Shadow Priest spell. This is also an undead. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it is kind of a spicy win condition, dude. If you have a bunch of undead already on the board, it's a little awkward though, because on its own, it's not very threatening. It is a 1/5 stat line though. That is a very interesting one for Priest. Priest used to be like, you have to be like very cautious if you're playing against it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let me read the rest of the cards. We'll come back to this. Shadow Touch, Calvadir. 1 mana, 1/3 Battlecry. Your next healing effects deal damage instead. It's undead. This card's actually good. There's actually a lot of Priest cards that do quite a bit of damage. Well, like they heal, but now they'll do damage. So I could actually see this being played. This kind of fits with the Soul Burner Varera. I can get behind it. Twilight Torrent, 2 mana shadow spell. Choose a character. If it's friendly, restore 6 health. If it's an enemy, deal 3 damage. Choose a character. If it's friendly, restore 6 health. If it's an enemy, deal 3 damage. So worst case scenario, it is restore 6 health or it's deal 3 damage. Best case scenario, right? You play the Shadow Touched and then you play the Twilight Torrent and bada bing. Wait, that won't work. I thought it was cooking, bro. It's not. I burnt the kitchen. I mean, this is fine. I don't even think, like, if they print this card, I'm not sure if you really need the Shadow Touched. Maybe you do. Priest is weird. I'm not sure if this card's actually good. The Undead Priest, I think, is playable currently, but I don't know if you like ever. I'm sure you add it in. I just don't know if it's going to be like insane. This card's also really interesting because it is an undead. I think that's the reason you're going to play it, because it's a 1 mana 1/3. 1 mana 1/3s in Hearthstone always seem play. Have I seen all of these? I'm just double check if I missed anything here. Saw this. Yeah, I think that's all the cards. I mean, the mini set actually looks okay. I'm a little worried that none of it's going to be impactful enough. And like most mini sets, it's just going to push certain archetypes even further ahead of the pack. I'm a little nervous for Mage. Druid also looks pretty nutty, and so does Hunter. I don't know. Let me go what you guys think of this mini set. Are you guys excited? Are you not? I'm not really sure about it. Hearthstone mini sets generally just have like this weird pattern of just being, I mean, actually that's not true. I was thinking about like Voyage to the Sunken City had a really good metagame, and then the mini set came out and then it kind of just died. So it's always a hit and miss with these mini sets. I will say the tentacle tenders are going to be like, or the chaotic tendrils will be pretty fun. Hopefully Yogg ends up being good too, and Cho'Gall. We'll see, have to see. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.